This is the face of modern feminism. If a woman claims, on the basis of nothing more than her own hearsay, that she was raped by a group of male fraternity students at the University of Virginia, then anyone who questions her story is a quote-unquote idiot. This article headline, of course, is from Jezebel.com, a notoriously feminist site. But oh my, could one imagine the silent horror of Miss Anna Merlin as the Rolling Stone, the site which initially broke the UVA rape story, released an official statement on Friday rebutting the incident, saying, quote, "In the face of new information, there now appear to be discrepancies in the rape victim Jackie's account, and we have come to the conclusion that our trust in her was misplaced." Oh, the sheer, silent horror of Miss Anna Merlin. Luckily, upon realizing that the only idiots are those who don't question an alleged rape victim's story, Miss Anna Merlin wrote a separate article apologizing once it became clear that Jackie's rape allegations were lies or, at best, not credible. I guess it seems the only idiots are those who blindly accept what a woman says on the sexist basis that all women are inept victims who are less deserving of scrutiny than men. The sexism inherent in Anna's actions, along with all those who agree with her, cannot be denied. If questioning a woman's account of a rape story makes you an idiot, then does doubting or ignoring the men's side of the account make you intelligent? It seems to me that true gender equality would be to consider both sides of the story, and yet Anna, along with the original Rolling Stone article that broke the alleged rape, wouldn't provide men with the same courtesy they provide women. And feminist websites like Jezebel.com claim to support gender equality. Actions speak way louder than words or stupid cliched mantras like gender equality, which always serve as the convenient justification for feminist anti-man propaganda and legislation. Oh, I'm not trying to push a sexist agenda with an inherently sexist title that implies the exclusion of men, feminism. I'm just fighting for gender equality. Don't you believe me? But Anna was not the only one in horror once this now refuted UVA rape hoax became obvious. I too sat horrified as I watched the mainstream media, feminists, and white knights all run to the defense of Jackie, the alleged rape victim, even after the Rolling Stone, the site that initially broke the story, retracted their support from it after realizing the incident was dubious or even a flat-out lie. That's right, there's even a hashtag, I stand with Jackie. The lunacy of these people is that they were willing to believe Jackie on the basis of literally nothing more than the Rolling Stone article, yet when Rolling Stone says Jackie can't be trusted, they choose to believe her anyways. Notice the obvious logical contradiction. If the only evidence for your belief in Jackie is what Rolling Stone says, and Rolling Stone retracts their support and then says Jackie is lying or inconsistent, then your conclusions should change to reflect this, since Rolling Stone was the foundation of all your beliefs to begin with. So let's get this in perspective. A girl whose identity is being protected with the pseudonym Jackie either lied or provided inconsistent claims about an alleged rape. Then, a writer named Sabrina Rubin Erdely interviewed Jackie and publicized it in a Rolling Stone article titled "A Rape on Campus, a Brutal Assault and Struggle for Justice at UVA," which made national headlines, generated week-long protests and outrage from students on campus, tarnished the reputation of what may be innocent male fraternity students, and even led to a vandalizing of their frat house overnight involving broken windows and graffiti. About 2 weeks later, the Rolling Stone retracts their support for the story in a statement released Friday, saying Jackie's elaborate tale of being raped for hours on broken glass what the fuck, was unfounded and a possible lie. And even though this whole debacle ultimately comes down to the lies and her inconsistency of an apparently fraudulent girl, the mainstream media, feminists, and white knights are doing everything they can to blame anyone but the female rape victim. Chris Hayes, the pseudo-male reporter for MSNBC, whose slant towards acting feminine as an overall resentment towards masculinity is reflected in this disproportionately anti-man yet pro-woman tweet, wrote, quote, "Also, fuck you, Rolling Stone." Actually, you know what? Let me change my accent to mimic the pseudo-male Chris Hales reporter. "Also, fuck you, Rolling Stone, for trying to throw your source, Jackie, under the bus. This is on you, not her." Wait, so when the Rolling Stone makes the mistake of trusting a liar, you blame the Rolling Stone yet defend the liar? Sure, Rolling Stone is at fault for trusting a liar and not questioning her claims, but you don't focus all your attention on the messenger and defend the liar. The equivalent of this would be if someone came up to you, told you they were mugged, then you report it to police, and when it turns out the victim lied about being mugged, the cops prosecute you instead of the liar. It's the same thing. The source of this whole situation comes down to the lies of some disturbed girl. And I say disturbed because if it turns out that this rape never happened, it means Jackie made up this entire explicit, violent rape tale in her mind, complete with forced sex on shards of glass and a man who, quote, shoved the beer bottle into her. Pretty disturbing, though not much worse than women's favorite rape fantasy, also known as 50 Shades of Grey. An international bestseller with over 100 million copies translated into over 50 languages, supported by self-proclaimed feminist Beyoncé, and coming to the big screen this Valentine's Day. But anyways, the irony here is that feminists say that anyone who questions a supposed rape victim is a rape apologist. But you know who the true rape apologists are? The feminists. Because false rape allegations harm real rape victims who lose credibility when they report the crime. To defend Jackie is to defend those who take rape lightly, who think it's a joke to play games with, or to use to further their own twisted agenda. When feminists defend Jackie, they don't see a rape victim, they see a woman. Because if they really were opposed to rape, shouldn't they be outraged at the woman who lied about rape and has made life harder for real rape victims? Feminism, as its inherently sexist label implies, is a lobbying group for the female gender at the expense of men, which is why they use rape culture hysteria to destroy men and act like rape apologists by protecting a woman who just lied about rape and made life harder for real rape victims. Here's another. This guy is a writer for Rolling Stone. Quote, "First, like everyone else at the magazine, I'm both mortified and sorry. For the public, for anyone affected, and for the source herself, Jackie." Again, this entire sham is predicated on the deceptive lies of one questionable woman, and yet you're apologizing to her? Why the fuck are people apologizing to a fucking liar? Here's another feminist liar apologist. This fat self-hating walrus by the name of Lindy West wrote, quote, "Rolling Stone should have done their jobs properly in the first place and not immediately thrown the subject under the bus when challenged." This is the primary reaction from feminists and white knights alike. Blame anyone for this lie except the liar who started it all. And they call us rape apologists? I guess this makes them liar apologists. As if the insanity couldn't get worse, however, one writer for the Washington Post released an article titled, "No matter what Jackie said, we should automatically believe rape victims." Are you fucking serious? After a woman lies about being raped, ruins the lives of countlessly potentially innocent students, causes the Rolling Stone to implode in controversy, incites vandalism, protest, and nationwide attention, and this fucking idiot Zerlina Maxwell has the audacity that, in the future, if someone makes a rape claim, we should automatically believe them. And then what? Send the entire nation into chaos, only to find out a week later it was all bullshit? Of course, even the author of this article deceptively changed the title after she posted it, probably after the severe beating she was getting in the comments section. She changed it from, "We should automatically believe rape victims," to, "We should generally believe rape victims," which is still the same delusional logic. I tweeted this to her, quote, "Instead of automatically believing, why not investigate claims/both sides before jumping to conclusions?" I haven't gotten a response yet, So someone else noticed that this same lady who pushes fake rape stories and unwarranted rape hysteria also gets paid to talk about rape. Today, just a few hours after publishing this delusional article, she sent out another tweet, quote, "I'm booking speaking engagements for the spring. I give talks on rape culture, feminism, and politics." Guys, it's the victimhood industrial complex, baby, and business is booming. This is exactly what I talked about a few months ago in this video titled "Social Justice Warriors Helping People to Death and Getting Rich While Doing It." You can click the screen here to watch it. Another writer published this article titled, "Why I Don't Want to Hear Both Sides of Rape Cases." Let me repeat the title of that fucking article. Quote, "Why I Don't Want to Hear Both Sides of Rape Cases." This is not a joke, these are real fucking headlines. Look, whether it's rape or a murder or a bank robbery, we always have to hear both sides of the case. It's called due fucking process. But again, my response to this writer is the same I gave to Zerlina. Why is it that only in cases of rape do feminists feel the need to abandon due process in defense of the victim? There is so much to cover and talk about in this UVA rape hoax, so I'm trying to stick to the key points. In terms of the inconsistency of the case, where to begin? Aside from the Rolling Stones' own statement rebutting the supposed rape, there are some other bizarre things that people have noticed. Like, according to Jackie, she was raped on a floor covered with shards of glass for 3 hours. She even described the shards of glass penetrating the skin of her back. So wait, 5 men raped you on the floor while you're lying on your back? Meaning this was the missionary position. So these men were grinding their knees on a floor covered in glass while raping you for 3 hours? After the supposed rape, Jackie claims she walked downstairs only to find the frat party that was taking place, quote, "still surreally underway, but if anyone noticed the barefoot, disheveled girl hurrying down a side staircase, face beaten, dress spattered with blood, they said nothing." Wait, so you're telling me that a bunch of partygoers saw a woman walking barefoot, spattered with blood, and likely with an expression of pure terror on her face, and not a single person stopped to ask what the hell happened? Then, quote, "disoriented, Jackie burst out a side door, realized she was lost, and dialed a friend." Wait a minute, lost? If you look at the images of the UVA frat house, it's a relatively small building located on campus. The same campus Jackie is a student at. So you're telling me that just because she exited through a side door, she couldn't simply walk around the side of the building to the front to reorient herself and her whereabouts? Doesn't make any sense. How do you get lost exiting a side door in a small building? Even more bizarre is that, supposedly, Jackie's best friends are actually sexual assault activists. Do you see the conflict of interest here? You've got this lady, Zerlina, making money giving speeches about rape, and then you've got Jackie's closest friends actively engaged in preventing the kinds of sexual assault that Jackie supposedly endured the night she was raped. It's a revolving door of rape. Girl gets raped, sexual assault activists get another reason to promote their cause, and the cycle of rape culture hysteria perpetuates. It was pretty bizarre that, within half a day of the original Rolling Stone article being published, a group of vandals had already destroyed the UVA fraternity house. The Rolling Stone article was released November 19th, and the vandalizing took place around 2 in the morning on November 20th. So within half a day, a group of vandals had A, read the rape story, B, coordinated their attack on the frat house, and C, executed the attack. The group of people, most likely self-hating feminists from UVA's College Feminist Club, sent an anonymous email taking responsibility for the vandalizing. In it, they say, quote, "This situation is just beginning. We will escalate and we will provoke until justice is achieved for the countless victims of rampant sexual violence this university and around the nation." Who are these people? Fucking anonymous? These morons even made a list of demands. Fucking idiots, man. So you've got Jackie, who apparently probably fabricated this entire story. Then it turns out that some of Jackie's closest friends also just so happen to be sexual assault activists. Then, within half a day of the Rolling Stone article being published, A group of people read the story, organized and planned an attack on the frat house, and eventually executed the attack, which included graffiti and broken windows. Do you guys see the organization involved here? Although I remain open-minded to the possibility that maybe Jackie was indeed actually raped, nonetheless, here's my hunch on what happened. Jackie, along with her close friends of self-hating, likely fat and ugly radical feminists, probably made most or all of this rape story up to justify and or perpetuate the feministic notion that there is some kind of rape culture out to get women. It's the victimhood industrial complex, and business is booming. Of course, the other possible alternative is the psychological version. Radical feminists tend to be self-hating, fat, and ugly. It's a common, observable trend that anyone with the capacity to think critically can see. As a result of their overall vile appearance, for most of their lives they did not get very much male attention, and if they did, it wasn't from the men they truly desired. This lack of male attention often creates a bitterness complex against men. I tweeted this out the other day, quote, "Radical feminist. 1. Get crush on high school jock. 2. Realize you're too ugly to date him. 3. Develop bitterness complex. 4. Commit to hating all men." It is simply not a coincidence that most of the radical feminists of the world are fat and or ugly. I don't want to judge anyone on the basis of their looks, but when you're going around wrecking society, it has to be pointed out. These self-hating feminists ultimately deal with their sexual frustration in different ways. Some choose to ruin sex for everyone else by promoting the irrational so-called rape culture hysteria. If you can convince every woman that all men are rapists, then that will ruin sex for both women and men, because women will refuse to have sex with men because they think any form of male assertiveness is a sign of rape and a woman giving up her empowerment, and men, of course, will be shit scared of being accused and charged with rape. Whenever a woman gets a little tipsy, meets a guy at a bar, and they end up having sex, rape culture hysteria may cause the woman to misinterpret a simple occasion of casual sex as an instance where she was raped while intoxicated. The psychology of fat, ugly, self-hating radical feminists is a dark, dark place. I could spend hours delving into the minds of these dark, sexually repressed women, but I won't go into that here. Just know that it's no coincidence that the ones bitching about so-called rape culture the most are the same fat, ugly, self-hating women who get the least amount of sex in the first place. Coincidence? No fucking way. You see, the problem with the rape culture hysteria is that it causes women to suspect rape where none exists. Just like the NYC catcalling video turns the simple act of saying good evening into street harassment, rape culture hysteria turns anything into rape. I mean, this is the ultimate insult to real rape victims. A girl getting drunk and having sex with a guy she met is not fucking rape just because the next morning, when she's sober, she realizes the guy wasn't actually that hot. That ain't fucking rape, and it's an insult to real rape victims. So as the UVA rape hoax story continues to unfold, and there will likely be many more revelations. If you want to stay up to date on the latest news, follow me on Twitter at RedPillTweets. Stay tuned, guys. I have a theory that humans are always selfish, no matter what. And everything they choose to do, they do it because it makes them feel happy. They do it because Take the red pill to the next level. Learn more about feminist bullshit and a range of other crucial topics by becoming a Red Pill member. Gets you exclusive videos, newsletters, and other content that no one else gets to see. Click the link below to learn more.